This college basketball picks edition of the Sports Gambling Podcast is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Sign up with promo code SGPN to score up to $1,000 in bonus cash. We're also brought to you by Rhythm. Get your 7-day free trial today by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM.
This is Jim Mora, and you're listening to SGPN. Let her ride.
He's one of those guys who will get penetration.
Welcome everyone to the Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm Sean, stacking the money green with my partner in picks, Ryan, Real Money Kramer. What's happening, Kramer?
It's a Saturday.
Yeah,
and
what are we doing?
We're
here?
not talking about football. What is this?
Why
about?
are we coming in on a Saturday?
Flew back from Vegas.
Oh yeah,
8 a.m. We were on the way to the airport 6:30 as usual.
Yep.
Land, get back to the house around 9:30. I'm at Disneyland by 10:45.
Joining us on the line to talk college basketball in this bonus college basketball picks episode, Colby Dan, aka Pick Dundee. What's happening, Colby?
The season is here, gentlemen. All right, we got 100 games tomorrow or Monday. I can't wait. Let's go.
Season officially kicks off Monday. We got a full slate of games and college basketball returns. Colby, when's the debut return of the college basketball pick show?
Tomorrow night we will be going live. So jump over there. Myself, Moneyline Mac, and Noah Beanflick, as they say. And we're gonna be breaking down every single game. Let's go. Hop on over there. Every single game of the entire college basketball season will be covered over there.
Are you gonna be picking all those games on the college basketball experience?
Every single game.
Okay, because there has been some reports that you guys have resorted to your leaning ways on the college football show. So I just wanted to make sure if I tune into the college basketball experience, that I'll be getting some picks and not some cocks or
let me be
whatever
no.
sort of term you guys have.
I'll be teetering to my favorite picks.
Listen, we don't play.
And Ryan, I asked Tally Site. They said they're able to add a lean
graphic.
So I know Colby likes to present himself as a guy who picks every game, but maybe a lean tab will help even things out.
Playing tummy sticks over there on the college experience. They're cocks.
Well,
I might teeter to Lehigh on opening night, Sean.
My God. It's like he doesn't. You know what this is, Sean? This is like when Commissioner Goodell has to lay down a very severe suspension to let everyone else. Maybe Jamison Williams needs to happen here. Maybe there needs to be.
Oh wow! Just to make a statement.
Well, I mean, talk about making a statement, guys. And I know they say this isn't the place to do this, but it was great to see another opponent get pissed on today. As Diego Pavia just continues.
Pavia. Yeah, I don't know how I made Duke my money line dog instead of Vanderbilt. They were right there. So was Syracuse. Colby, that was a pretty nice win for the Syracuse Orange over the fraudulent Virginia Tech Hokies.
We were both on that. We were.
Yeah, I was never a doubt they were going to win the game.
You didn't watch the game.
Yeah,
you're touting this. They were without their quarterback and best offensive player and running.
Yeah, why drone strike opt out?
He didn't opt out. In fact, he was warming up.
Blow an 18-point lead though.
Oh no, I know. Pry. If Pry posts one of those on to next week 1-0 graphics this week, I think there might be some sort of revolt. The fan base is out on him. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. So
but no, I'm not salty. I'm just pointing out that they. In a tough road spot without their starting quarterback and starting running back.
But you guys got pissed on earlier this year too, though.
It's true.
Yeah, no. In hindsight, that doesn't seem like a bad loss. Looking at how awesome Vanderbilt is. Again, Colby, what's their path to get to the SEC championship? Because
or win out.
Yeah. And who else do they have on the scheduling conference?
They got LSU, Tennessee, and who's the third one? I'm drawing a blank on. There's a third one. South
Carolina,
yes,
LSU, and Tennessee. They could win all three of those. Come on.
Certainly, they need a little bit of help. I mean, Florida almost gave them that with Georgia today.
Yeah,
they could still certainly get there. So
they play two of the 1-loss teams. They're going to need help from Texas, Georgia, and then A&M. Two of those three have to drop down, and they need to win.
Well, A&M could just beat Texas, or no, because they would need the tiebreaker. I think they need Texas to beat A&M.
The best case scenario is we end up with like a 5-way tie for the second spot in the SEC championship.
Oh, that would be awesome. All right. Enough messing around though. We'll talk all things college football on the College Football Pick Show. We're here to talk college hoops, and these are not projected lines. These are actual lines because it looks like the lines are out. All these games Monday, tip it off, massive slate. Any big preseason thoughts before we get things started, Colby? Sorry, Lean Dundee.
We're still at 68 teams in the NCAA tournament. My thoughts would be let's keep it that way. But remember, you have these gigantic conferences. So SMU and their blood money, and Stanford and Cal are part of the ACC. Then you have all that other realignment with obviously the Big Ten going to 1 million teams, and the SEC adding Oklahoma and Texas. It should make for a great year. And I mean, besides that, I don't think there's anything that substantial besides Rick Pitino's back year 2, and he's got bringing in the best recruiting class maybe. So I'm sorry, transfer class, not recruiting class. So, Lean Dundee ready to go here.
It seems like the massive conferences matter less for the actual product because the conference tournaments are great. Although we are starting to see, we saw the first
quintuple bye. Wait, what conference was that? Was
West Coast, the Fun Belt.
Oh, fun.
The West Coast has been doing it for a while. They don't have enough teams, I think, to do the quintuple bye. But yeah, no, I think in general, the bigger conferences in college basketball, it seems like it will matter less in the actual games because, we'll have great conference play. We'll have great conference tournaments. But the problem is the bigger they get, the more power they have. And then the dumbass SEC is going to try to do something they're going to try to fuck with the tournament. They are 100% going to do something to the tournament, and it's going to be a result of these mega conferences.
We have the perfect tournament. If you look at March Madness, that is the perfect sports tournament. You don't need to make any, when the guy who did Pam Anderson's tits, he didn't go in there and tinker. He was like, I made this perfect. I'm not touching it.
You've been listening to the CFL gambling podcast, haven't you?
I do. Yeah. What was that walk-off punt, Kramer? What was that called?
A rouge.
A rouge.
Yes. Yeah.
There's a walk-off punt at the CFL.
Yeah, basically,
what a silly game. What a silly sport.
I love what a great rule. What a
what's that?
No, I was just going to say, I think in general, the way that college basketball will get ruined will not necessarily be the expansion of the tournament, but it will be the expansion to include all these mediocre major conference teams, which maybe in basketball conferences will be able to be much deeper. We've seen this before with the Pac-12, Big 10 or Big 12, but it does seem like I'm less concerned about basketball. The only thing that concerns me is the tournament augmentation.
If they can just keep auto bids, okay. Yes. I'm against all those shitty power schools getting in there, but if you have an auto bid for every conference, I can see I'm still okay. I think with that, as long as you don't get away from that.
And every one of those conferences will implement the quintuple bye or whatever level of bye they need to get to make sure they protect their good teams, which, shout out to the Sun Belt for being smart here. That is the best way to protect the best team in your I agree with you, but if you're one of these smaller conferences, you would much rather have the Cinderella story be your best team going to March Madness, not in your conference tournament because some 12 seed that was 500 just won. I agree with you though.
Well, what's hilarious is the Sun Belt gap between like 1 and 10 is so thin, they're still going to fuck it up.
I mean, but the disadvantage of having to play like 5 straight days and then you're playing a team that's fresh, like, whoa.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right, let's get to it. Let's talk picks.
All right. So this is the official first day of the season, correct, Colby? Monday,
Yes.
November 4th. And the game started at 8 a.m. Am I reading this correctly?
8 a.m. Pacific.
In 8 a.m. Pacific, and the game is in Sioux Falls. My
At
God.
the Pentagon, which if you're not familiar with the Pentagon there, that's about the best thing. It's almost like it was modeled after the OG Boston Garden. Fantastic court there.
So now they're doing some sort of special tournament. I'm guessing
it's like early season basketball. You get all these fun little. Sometimes they're not even tournaments. They're just like 2 or 3 matchups of significance. In this case, Colby will have to explain the significance of Charleston and the Salukis of Southern Illinois. Salukis catching 2.5 here. I got to imagine you have. I mean the travel discrepancy, and just imagine getting to Sioux Falls, South Dakota, Sean.
Oh, that's gotta. I mean, that's.
Do they even fly planes there?
No, that feels like it's got Greyhound vibes.
Yeah,
so, there's going to be
right?
a Greyhound with a couple layovers.
Do we have any travel handicaps here?
Rough travel spot. Colby, what are we doing in this matchup? What do you like here?
It's a fascinating matchup because you have brand new head coaches. Pat Kelsey, who did great at Charleston a season ago, took the Louisville job, and then they went out and hired his old boss, Chris Mack, who was previously at Louisville, and Xavier. And then you have on the other side, Brian Mullins is gone from the Salukis, and Scott Nagy comes in from Wright State, the Raiders, who, I feel like a couple Horizon League tournaments there, we cashed on his Wright State Raiders over the past few years. So 10 new players though with the Salukis. They're kind of projected.
10 new scholarships.
Yeah. And they're kind of projected in the middle of the pack of the Valley. Meanwhile, Charleston kind of seamlessly going through those coaches. They run similar stuff. That's why I think it was such a wise hire. They're projected to win the CAA. So I think you got to ride with Charleston here. Just the fact that you're not really learning a new system. You're kind of going right into what he's been doing anyway. And the fact they do return such key players from a season ago with Brazovic or whatever, and then CJ Fulton.
Yeah, no, I mean, the fact that there's at least some, some chemistry, some holdover from the previous regime, I imagine that's got to give you a massive head start, at least early. I mean, Southern Illinois, control alt delete the entire program, new head coach and 10 new scholarship players. That's going to be, just how do you handicap that team? I think you got to go Charleston here. Kramer, you making it the Discord's first play?
Well, I was just going to ask one thing. What has Chris Mack been doing?
Enjoying that Louisville buyout money.
Okay. I like the idea of him being the coach here, but are we at all worried about a little layoff? Maybe rusty, maybe a little.
I think that's good sometimes, man. I think you can, rediscover what went wrong besides your assistant coach ratting you out. And then, you can also just focus on some stuff maybe you haven't had the chance to. So sometimes I think looking at it fresh, getting a couple years off is actually a bonus.
I'll be contrarian. Give me the Salukis.
Salukis. Don't let the dogs get hot.
All numbers go towards Mr. Ken Palm. Shout out to Virginia Tech, although not the football program right now. Noon PM. Are there a number of early games, Colby? And we didn't even mention this. You didn't play the beer sound effect, but this is of course Colby's 6 favorite games.
6-pack. Colby's 6-pack.
To start the Colby, how many games are tipping off before noon Pacific?
Well, at noon, or there's a bunch at noon.
Are there other early games?
Yes, there's a IUPUI is hosting. Who the fuck was it? It's like a D2 school.
Matchup.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Big matchup.
But
anyway, all right.
Yeah.
So the early games are all in Sioux Falls. Game number 2.
Oh, I'm going to have so much action going.
Noon on Monday, St. Louis, the Billikens. We've done a deep dive on this creepy mascot. They're taking on Santa Clara. Santa Clara -1.5. Colby, talk to us about these two fine programs.
Herb Sendek used to be the head coach of the Pussy Pack a long time ago at NC State. There, he's in year 9 at Santa Clara. They haven't really.
I'm going to do my Colby. Santa Clara keeps a good program, right, Colby? I feel like they're always kind of in the mix.
Yeah, they're third or fourth in the conference every year.
No, like they're
solid.
If I'm always trying to talk myself into a team besides Gonzaga and who's the other perennial? I'm blanking.
St. Mary's.
St. Mary's.
It's always Gonzaga, St. Mary's. Then you always have San Francisco and Santa Clara in the second.
I always feel like I find myself
and occasionally Kelly LePepe happens.
Yeah, you get the LMU dream season, but yes, I feel like I always find myself on Santa Clara.
Well, I mean, look, they have been talented over the past couple of years. They just haven't been able to get over the hump. Maybe this is the year. They were third in scoring a year ago in the WCC, and they bring back a couple guys. You know, one guy that NBA scouts are watching is Adama Alpha Ball. I think it is. That's how you pronounce it.
Wait, say one more time, Colby. One more time.
I believe it's and once again, depending on the broadcast you listen to, this thing can change. Adama Alpha Ball.
Alpha Ball. Alpha Ball.
Yeah, I believe so.
That's what I thought I heard.
Johnny O'Neal is back at the forward spot as well. So, I mean, they got some talent there. But look, St. Louis brought in Josh Schertz, guys. You remember Josh Schertz from Indiana State a year ago? They had a magical year. They got left out of the NCAA tournament, though, unfortunately. And he brought in a couple of his players, mainly
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was leading them.
Salt Frazier transferred over as well with the goggles, as well as another one of their studs, Isaiah Swope. So both those guys coming in, they got Larry Hughes' son that plays for them too. And also they just did a good job in the portal, bringing in talent. You know, this is an interesting game because Schertz, how fast can you get it going? You know, you brought 2 of your guys with you. Sendek's been there 9 years, but I just think St. Louis is going to get him. I think, you know, with the talent, I think they're just a little bit more talented there. Give me the Billikens.
I'm going with Santa Clara. I like the continuity. I'm gonna ride that early as a trend here. I see the case for St. Louis, and they might be a surprising dog down the line. I mean, you bring over some of that pedigree, the coaching connection with guys he's coached up before. They could be sneaky down the line, but I think game 1, I'm going Santa Clara. Kramer, what do you do?
I got a map of the U.S. right now. Who do you think? Who is closer to South Dakota?
It has to be St. Louis.
St. Louis or Santa Clara?
St. Louis by a mile.
What kind of questions is this?
We got to make sure we're on top of our geography.
St. Louis.
Oh, you know I'm on top of it. All right, I'm always staring at maps.
Drove across the nation.
Yeah,
it's not even close.
All right, we're starting with easy ones. All right. They'll get harder. Don't worry. We'll get elevation in there. I'm with Sean. Santa Clara, lay the points. Although both teams have decent returning production, for what it's worth. 3 p.m. on the West Coast. We're still in Sioux Falls, so at this point, I guess good excuse to take in some games after the games. Maybe hit the casino, and I hear they have some great homemade meth up there. McNeese State laying 10 points here. Colby, I assume this is going to be one of the teams you've adopted this year, and you're going to love very much. They're taking on the Jackrabbits of South Dakota State. A little home cooking here, a little home dog on opening day. Sean, maybe Colby, strong ass offer, or is it a home dog?
I want to know, guys.
Yeah, okay. I thought so.
Are we all just locking up McNeese State? Because I was just in Lake Charles, and there's a buzz on the streets there. I can tell you that, and I can tell you when you look at what they have going, you know, that was Will Wade's first season back. He goes 30-4. Now they draw Gonzaga in the opening round. They lose. Okay. But what he did in the portal, bringing in, you know, Brandon Murray, who was an LSU recruit of his, Sincere Parker, who was a stud at St. Louis, and some of the pieces that returned. They also brought in Copeland from Syracuse. As much as I like South Dakota State, and they're gonna have the crowd, you know, Eric Henderson's a good coach there, but I McNeese is they're like an all-star team in the mid-major ranks here. Let's go. I think we got to lay that big number despite taking.
No. See, I love the talent, and Colby already buttering up to his guest on the College Experience. Yep. Will Wade, go back and check that episode. Moneyline Mac and his coaches interviews, and also go back and listen to those episodes. Get you ready for the season. Bunch of fun insights. This is just textbook handicapping 101. You have a home dog with a lot to prove. You get Will Wade showing up in his fancy car, probably driving a limousine in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. You know, all these South Dakota kids are going to be fired up. They didn't get any strong ass offers, but you have Kalen Gary. He's back at the guard spot. I love senior production at the guard position. It's one of our tenets when we break down March Madness. They do have 0 returning starters, but Kalen Gary did get some minutes. You got to take South Dakota State in the points. I mean, just too many moving pieces for McNeese. They don't need this game. They could easily sleepwalk through the game 1 here in South Dakota. So, yeah, I'm on South Dakota State here. Kramer, what do you doing?
Well, I mean, you bring
Staples.
up good. Yeah, exactly. You bring
I gotta get the staple back on.
You need to get the staple back on here because it's a team full of staples. Like you mentioned, no returning production against a team full. What's the opposite of staples, Colby? Like a thumbtacks? I don't know.
Yeah, like a bouncy ball.
There you go. A team full of bouncy balls, coached by Will Wade, who happen to have Sean. This is a top 15 returning production team.
Yo-yos.
Yo-yo. Okay. So this is McNeese State is very unique. They're one of 2 teams in the country that have a top 20 returning production experience rank and a top 20 transfer production rank. So not only do they have some of the most returning production in the nation, Sean, they have some of the best players joining the team. That's why the number is so big. That's why the Ken Pom.
No thanks.
That's why the Ken Pom projection is 10 points off of it, or 7 points off of this.
Hook up the air compressor. We got a Staples.
Normally, I would agree with Ken Pom, but yeah, give me McNeese State. I'll take the strong ass offer. 3:30 p.m. on the West Coast. We're heading to Queens for a little New York battle here. Fordham from the Bronx taking on St. John's. St. John's laying a big number here, 16.5.
And real quick, Ken Pom has this as a 3-point game.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
7-point difference.
Oh, okay. I missed that.
Yeah.
I was looking for the staple sound effect.
That would be the reason you take South Dakota State. The reason you don't take them is it's a bunch of staplers playing their first game against a bunch of dudes that Sean, do you remember when we played in that rec league in North Hollywood and there were
dunked on Decker? Yeah.
there were teams there that definitely they were recruiting players. Yeah, this is what that game's going to be. Anyway, back to the Fordham St. John's game. Colby, any updates on Patino in the offseason?
Well, I spoke to his son, and we have had some conversations. Probably better for off air, but year two,
you got a diner recommendation.
Year 2, they should have made the tournament last year. They got robbed, and they go out and get maybe the best guy in the whole portal in Kadary Richmond coming over from Seton Hall. Also, some of the other pieces they brought in, like Aaron Scott from North Texas, Davion Smith from Utah is the one that I really love, and bringing in a top 100 recruit in Jaden Glover. Patino's just fired up, and he knows that I'm sure he's got all the stem cell injections and everything else that the world offers, but at the same time, I just think they're loaded this year. This is the year they make the run. And you look at Fordham, Keith Yurgo, he had a down year last year, great year in year 1. They returned some production, but I just think it's a freight train's coming, like the chat's saying right now. Lay the number with St. John's. All right, let's not overthink this one.
So this is a big number. This is the chalky favorite you want on your card on Monday afternoon, early evening. Yeah, I'm with you. St. John's. They're gonna hit the ground running. This is in New York.
Couldn't disagree more. This
really?
Is a classic little brother game. It is a big number, and Fordham is returning a ton of production. So.
Yeah, and the great Noah Beanick saying Kadary Richmond National Play of the Year 150-1 out there in the universe.
Oh my God!
Yeah, actually, no. If you could send me and Sean a list of good Player of the Year candidates, so we could get some futures for ourselves, that'd be
yes. Great. Also, all-time profile photo of Noah. Noah, what I forget. What is the backstory on that profile?
Can we get it changed to that country
that
music
Picard?
album that he?
Yeah, it does.
We
Look
come
like
in peace. Or what was the Spock thing?
the blind guy from Star Trek, similar. So Jordy,
Oh,
or what was
man.
his name that had the reading rainbow guy?
Yeah.
Similar,
I
similar
think that's
glasses.
it, right?
Hey, while we're getting the backstory on Noah's profile photo, head over to BetUS, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/BetUS. Ran an awesome promo week, a bunch of sign up deals, great offers going on at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/BetUS. Get in on the online casino if you want a little
#Legends only.
125% bonus on your first 3 deposits. Promo code SGPN. Easy deposit, easy withdrawal using crypto. Highly just recommend dropping in a little Bitcoin, and then withdrawals super simple. America's favorite sportsbook. They've been in business for 30 plus years. Give them a try. You're gonna like it. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/BetUS. Promo code SGPN.
All right. And we were actually chopping it up with the big boss over at the Circa.
Oh yeah,
about college basketball. He was up at Boise, got a chance to see the basketball team with his very eyes. Sounds like things are looking bright.
Yeah.
Up there. All right. 3:45 p.m. on the West Coast. We're heading to Indianapolis, Indiana, where Butler, a classic private school pussy, they're taking on Missouri State. Missouri State. That's where Bobby Petrino coached for a little bit in football, right?
Yeah. So you got Bobby Petrino against, who was the guy? Jim Jones went to Butler.
Oh, okay. That's nice. Anyway, Missouri State, big number here, 13.5. Colby, break it down.
I think he's confused on Jim Jones, who he killed a bunch of people. Yeah. But maybe he didn't. It's speculate.
Oh, that was before targeting, Colby. They didn't. That was before they got murder out of the game.
This one obviously a legendary Hinkle Fieldhouse. Thad Matta, I got to be honest, I've ate shit in the first 2 years. Thinking that he was going to really turn it on and get to the NCAA tournament. Maybe year 3 could be the year. Pierre Brooks and Jamal Telfort back at the guard spot. Colby King comes in from Tulane. They also got Finley Bizjack, Sean, who I know you're excited about. He was all freshman Big East first team, and they have a top 75 recruit coming in, Jamie Kaiser. And then on the other side of things, Missouri State, they couldn't get things going. You bring back the guy that had it going a while back, Quanzo Martin, the former Purdue guard with Glenn Robinson. He was 61-41 in his 3 years at Missouri State, his first tenure back in 2008 to 2011. And then, he went on to the Tennessee Volunteers and the Missouri Tigers and the Cal Golden Bears. They got 0 starters back though. And to be honest, most of their roster's gone. They brought in a couple of guys, but this is one where I'm just going to die on that hill. This is the year Thad Matta makes it. And I think he's got it going. The culture I think is established there in Indianapolis. So I think we go chalky again with these Butler Bulldogs.
He is a good coach, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I feel like if you've ever listened to Mark Titus, who played for Thad Matta, he speaks very highly of him, and it does give me some hope for Butler. So yeah, I'll play, but we'll finally give the Discord a piece of meat to chew on with Missouri State.
Yeah, Butler. Look at the great names: Colby King, Finley Bizjack. They got to hit the ground running with this team.
All right, new commandment: fade small. What do we want to call them? Fade crappy conference teams when they have no returning production early in the season blindly.
Yeah, that makes sense.
All right, good.
I think they got the hire right. That he's going to make them good again, but it's going to take a year or two.
Texas A&M taking on UCF down in Orlando. Do they call the basketball stadium the bounce house too, Colby? The 4 p.m. on the West Coast. A&M, I would like to go to College Station taking a basketball game. I wonder if the parade is quite as nice. 4.5 here for Texas A&M.
You still in love with Buzz Williams, right?
Always.
Okay.
Always.
You never published your photo of Buzz Williams banner
true,
outside the Texas A&M
it's buried
arena.
somewhere on my phone. I'll have to get it out. Maybe it'll be for the OnlyFans.
So Texas A&M laying 4.5.
Colby,
I'm surprised we haven't got a buzzsaw yet.
Cole do you have the buzzsaw?
What? I just did the buzzsaw.
Okay. Just making sure.
Look, this one is exciting to me. I mean, I'm very bullish. If you listen to our SEC preview on the college basketball experience, I'm bullish on A&M's team this year. It's year 6 for the buzzsaw. They bring back a ton of production. You know, Henry Coleman, Wade Taylor, Washington, and then they add Eric Phelps from SMU, who I think is a good player. And then Johnny Dawkins is doing a good job at UCF. He's only had one losing season. That was the COVID season. But they did lose their best player. They should be still solid, I think, competitive in that conference, the Big 12 now. But I think A&M just a better team. I'm curious the lit factor in this too. Yeah, A&M will just beat them down, I think.
This is a mortal lock. This is one of the bigger.
You're on Texas A&M, Ryan.
Yes.
Very surprising.
Unrelated to Buzz, this is one of the biggest discrepancies in returning production.
Well, UCF. How much are you counting UCF's 9th year Johnny Dawkins? Because that's a lot of returning production. If you count each one of his years,
just one. Person.
How does a guy?
No.
Oh, sorry. The coach is back for year 9.
I was about to say, I was like, Johnny Dawkins.
No, I thought we had a Tommy Boy situation because there was a note in there about the COVID year, and I was trying to make sense of it. So yes, clearly Johnny Dawkins is the coach.
This is going to be a 3-star
the 1 stars are flying in off the shelves.
They're coming in. How is he still eligible? Lay it with A&M 2 in a row for the Discord.
Oh man, my joke still works.
Give him that snorkel mask, Kramer.
Yeah, seriously.
The analysis not so much, but all right. You guys bullied me into Texas A&M, but
we need to
no way Buzz lets him down here.
I need to get my props in order for the college basketball episodes. All right, Vermont. UAB 4:30 p.m. on the West Coast in Birmingham. We're going to the home of the Dragons. -5.5. Do they bring the Dragon on the sideline for the basketball games, Colby?
We're working on that. We're working on it. Just like we're working on A&M playing a game with their overalls on.
Oh wow! Be careful. They'll come after you, Colby.
Is Dilfer coaching this team as well, Colby? Any update?
He's not impressed with the modern game, but I will say his team lit it up today. So I guess it's.
I know what the hell that happened.
This is kind of no idea where that came. They have John Kitna's son as the starting quarterback. He threw for over 400 yards. After he beat that kiddie porn charge, I guess.
Wow.
No joke there. That's true. But UAB, this is kind of like the McNeese South Dakota State game. The only difference being the home territory here with UAB hosting. You got Staples, Vermont. John Becker keeps a good program. They returned 4 starters, with Shamir Bogues and TJ Long, but the Staples, can they go in on the road to Birmingham and take on Butta Johnson and company? I just think UAB is going to be. I mean, Andy Kennedy's done a really good job with that program, getting it up. They didn't make the tournament a year ago, but they still had a really good season, 23-12. So I do think UAB with 3 starters back. They add in Greg Gordon, a guy from Iona that I think could be a contributor. So give me the Blazers. I'm
going.
You going Staples?
I'm going Staples. Give me the Staples. The
Staple
Maple
parlay.
Staples. The Maple Staples. Vermont hitting the syrup up there before they head down. 4 returning starters. They always have a good team. 28-7 last year. They're always kind of frisky there in the tournament. I think their conditioning will be pretty good coming into this game. And they shoot the ball well. They hit their free throws, I assume. And this is
why do you assume?
Because Vermont always is a really good free throw shooting team. So Vermont +5.5. That could matter late. Like this feels like a game where UAB is going to be kind of covering, but then there'll be some chicanery with some free throws late, and Vermont will get the cover.
The difference between this and the McNeese game, Colby, is that Vermont is returning that production. And so I'll join.
It's on the road. It's a true road game. It's not.
That's true. Well, actually, wait a second. Give me UAB. This is one of the commandments.
What is the commandment?
Just basically when teams play the first road game.
This is I guess it is a true road game.
You got to watch for that. But some of these teams, it's like two months into the or like 2 weeks into the season.
Yeah, but this is Vermont we're talking about.
Yeah, no, Colby
VT all day, baby.
Okay, it's not VT. It's Vermont.
The real VT.
Oh wow, it's Vermont. All they got up there is syrup and some bad ice cream.
Fish.
I guess that too. Bad music and bad ice cream.
Oh, how dare
Missouri heads to Memphis. They still cheating down there in Memphis? I assume so. They're laying 5 here, 5 p.m. on the West Coast. Colby?
The question I think everyone's got to ask themselves is Penny Hardaway going to be able to survive this? The heat is on. The heat is in the hat, Sean, as they say. And they fired Rick Stansberry, his assistant coach. Well, the NCAA kind of came after him. They did bring in Mike Davis, the former Detroit Mercy head coach. Remember last season, guys, when Detroit won a game and one guy stormed.
Yeah, that was awesome. The hospital.
And I don't know what to make of it. I mean, once again, we know Memphis is talented every year. They bring in Tyrese Hunter from Texas/Iowa State. They bring in Musa Cisse, who's in his 50th year and his second time at Memphis. He also played at Oklahoma State, Ole Miss, and God knows what else. PJ Carter from UTSA, Dane Danger from the Illini there. I mean, they brought in so many guys. They bring back the AAC Freshman of the Year and PJ Haggerty. Jordan is back, who was a key player last season. So, I mean, they're as talented as almost any team in the country. But at the same time, they never looked the part to me. And you look at Missouri and what Dennis Gates did. Year one, made the NCAA tournament, was a darling of ours on the college basketball experience. Setback last year. They bring back Tamar Bates, Caleb Grill. But one of the things I like is what they did in the portal, bringing in a kid, Marquise Warwick from the north of Northern Kentucky, and Mark Mitchell from the Duke Blue Devils. So I think I'm going to take Missouri in the points here to give them a game. Maybe even upset them outright.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. I like Missouri in this spot. Memphis is just a perpetual kind of disappointment. To your point, they have a ton of talent, and this is when you fade a team like this that has a ton of talent, not necessarily the best coaching, or at least we haven't seen them maximize the talent they brought in. Now maybe they can figure it out later on in the year, but early on is a spot I want to fade. And Dennis Gates, to your point, Colby, I think he's a pretty solid coach. So
where is this game being played?
At the Memphis stadium there, whatever it's called now, the FedEx Forum, right? They got that FedEx money.
The true road game.
Sure.
Okay. Give me Memphis laying the points. You walked right into that one, Colby. All right, another one right at 5 p.m. on the West Coast. We're heading to, this is interesting, Sean. All these games on Monday, and we're talking Wichita State, Western Kentucky, and Bowling Green, Kentucky. Western Kentucky laying 1.5. Explain yourself, Colby.
Explain yourself is this is two great mid-major programs over the past 30 years. We could take it back to Antoine Carr or Chris Marcus, and Western Kentucky has some of the best fans in college basketball. If you didn't, I know when you put your snorkel mask on, buddy, but let me tell you, Western Kentucky's a great place. And this is an exciting game because Steve Lutz, he left as the head coach for Western Kentucky. They hired an assistant a year ago with Lutz, Hank Plona, who was the previous basketball head coach at Indian Hills College there. Kramer, I know you follow them closely.
Big time.
And I like what he's doing. I like the continuity by them not going out and getting a different coach after Lutz left. And they bring back a couple starters from a season ago. I think that matters. And then Wichita State, Paul Mills is their head coach. He's in year 2. You guys remember him from Max Asmus and Oral Roberts. He was hired last year, his first year at Wichita. They did not do well, 15 and 19, but I don't know. It's year 1. They bring back 3 starters from that team, bring in a couple guys that I think they're excited about. Justin Hill, the point guard that was previously at Georgia and Longwood. I just think you side with home team here, though, because I do think this is a fascinating game, but I just think the fact Plona had been there previously, they're not switching offenses or defenses. They're not, like this is not a big philosophical change. So I'm going to take the Tops at home there.
Yeah, I mean, this is a Western Kentucky home opener. That's all I need for this handicap. I understand Wichita State being a small dog here, but Western Kentucky rolls. This is potential lock city. No one goes into Bowling Green and gets a dub very easily, and they're good at home.
And in Colby's defense, the Bart Torvik does have this as one of his top. He has this as his number 6 game from his excitement metric. So Colby's not wrong.
Real ones know. Real ones know.
And you can catch it on CBS Sports Network. I wish I had written this note down while we were talking about St. Louis, Santa Clara. You can only watch that game on YouTube, Sean.
Regular YouTube.
Hey,
wow.
Perfect. You load us up with this podcast right before. Watch it again, even if it's your second or third time. Yeah, and go seamlessly into it.
Pad the numbers. Kramer, are you doing Western Kentucky?
Yeah, there's a pattern brewing here.
Kramer's taking all true home teams.
Just a lot of home. Any of these non-neutral games, I'm going to be looking unless there's a good reason to not do it.
Underdog,
like Fordham.
Hey, have you guys signed up with UnderdogFantasy.com? If not, what are you waiting for? UnderdogFantasy.com promo code SGPN gets you a nice deposit match up to 50% up to $1,000. And this is going to be awesome. If you haven't signed up, it is they have college basketball. That's right, college basketball pick'em fantasy projections. Very fun to get in there. We're gonna talk to Colby here right now. Colby, we talked Texas A&M at UCF. We all like Texas A&M. Kramer ignored the True Road spot for his handicapping there.
That's an irrelevant handicap.
Okay. Yeah. Colby, any player projections, any underdog stuff for Texas A&M at UCF? We got Wade Taylor, Darius Johnson, Jordan.
I was about to say
Curry.
What is the Wade Taylor situation there as I'm logging in currently?
18.5 points. He's got 26.5 PRA. 2.5 turnovers. They have so many different stat lines for these. And I know college basketball experience is going to be giving out a bunch of plays here during the season, but what do you like for Wade? Do we just keep it simple and go points? 18.5 is high.
I was about to say, I think I lean towards the lower on that front.
I'm going to pick the lower.
Just because they have a lot of guys.
Yeah.
Do we want to go with that? Because Underdog only allows picks. Kramer, make sure you bleep that out.
I don't see a lean though.
Well, when Underdog signed up to sponsor us, they said, we heard you guys make picks on your network, and we're like, yeah, that's actually kind of our entire thing. So the lean thing may
the cock boys,
may endanger the Underdog deal.
The lower amount there. Does it? I'm trying to get in there right now, but my computer while this is happening is loading.
Well, you've been traveling a lot of states.
Yeah.
I mean, they have a ton of games up. They have let's see, Ohio State at Texas, which we will be covering later.
Yeah, we have A&M, UCF. We have Ohio State, Texas. We have Baylor, Gonzaga.
What if we fade Darius Johnson? Lower like 15.5 points. Okay. So we got Darius Johnson, lower 15.5 points. What about Manny Obaseki? His points is set at 12.5, rebounds 2.5, 3-pointers made a half. Come on. Manny can hit a 3. Just one.
I say
Nebhard.
Oh yeah. I was about to say, if we go there, what's the Nebhard number?
10.5 points, 22.5 PRA. A half 3-pointer, 11.5 rebounds and assists, 19.5 points and assists, 14.5 points and rebounds, 2.5 turnovers. Nice menu here.
Give me the higher on the 14.5. I cock towards the higher
points and rebounds. No, this is a picks show.
Okay. Well, there's no cock. What is this?
Darius Johnson lower 15.5 points. Ryan Nemhard higher 14.5 points.
Do we have any college basketball boosts?
Doesn't look like yet, but I bet they'll have some.
Oh, I see a FIFA one. What's that all about? 2,000 max. My God.
I bet they have some for the season.
I got some 2000 max NBA in-game boost sitting in my. I mean, my goodness.
UnderdogFantasy.com promo code SGPN. Got a handful of games left. Kramer, what are we doing?
Cleveland State, Michigan. Boy, it's dark times for Michigan sports right now. They suck at everything. I assume the basketball team is on their way back because they're laying a big number here against the good old Cleveland State. We see them in the tournament from time to time, Colby. Surely they can't be complete ass this year. All right. Why are we? Why? How did this game make the card?
Well, you got to be TMZ, and Noah Beanick's our boy too. But Dusty May was hired, big time hire. He obviously took Florida Atlantic to the Final Four 2 years ago.
Oh yeah,
and he brought in Vlad Golden, Ivan Drago from FAU, the big man. He's following coach to Ann Arbor there, but they also brought in a bunch of other good players. I mean, Trey Donaldson from Auburn, Danny Wolf from Yale.
Love Danny Wolf.
Yeah, he balled out. Last season. So it's a TMZ game here. Walters from Alabama, I think, also could be a guy that contributes well. And then you have Cleveland State, and their head coach Daniel Robinson's done a good job. He's 42-29 in 2 years there. They were 21-15 last year. They get two guys back that were injured for them that were supposed to be key contributors a season ago. And they also bring back Dylan Arnett at the forward spot. So, I mean, there's some continuity there. Give me the points. It's tough. The expectations are tough. First game of the season. Give me these Vikings to stay within that number. Michigan wins by 12.
I mean, I think
it seems like Noah.
I think Noah in the chat. Yes. Handicapper parking. Noah nailed it in the chat saying Colby is going to lose with this pick. There's only one reason why he's including this game, and it's so that when Cleveland State shocks the world and wins, Colby can. I told you to take Cleveland State, and don't forget to sprinkle a little bit on that money line.
Michigan by 1 million, right?
Yeah. Unfortunately, Michigan by 20.
Real quick. So Michigan 9th in transfer production haul, tied with Bethune-Cookman. What do we
Reggie
got going
Theus
on down in that program?
Well, you got Reggie Theus, the former UNLV running rebel and NBA great, and guess what? Charles Barkley donated. I think Charles Barkley donated $2 million to their program.
That really stood out when I was looking at the transfer stuff. I was like, oh, okay. A little bit like when Prime was down there in the FCS. Florida heads to Jacksonville to take on South Florida. A little Florida on Florida action here. Another 5 p.m. Wow, lots of games in the 5 p.m. window. Sean, are they not aware of Monday Night Football? What? Why would you? Why not have them all day games, guys?
Well, they like going head to head with Patty Mahomes, Ryan.
God's eye is going to look pretty sick with college basketball.
Showtime Mahomes.
Florida laying 10.5 here on the road. Colby, is the Florida program back?
Well, Beanick thinks so. Let's do a fade Beanick parlay here with Cleveland State. Look, South Florida just lost their coach. And when I say lost their coach, he passed away. Amir Abdul Rahim, the brother of Sharif Abdul Rahim, complications during a surgery. And this is a tragic magic situation, guys, where, I think South Florida, who, they only bring back one starter from a season ago, but they have a couple other guys that he recruited. I think they get up for him. And meanwhile, Todd Golden, I think this is his best team probably on paper at Florida, with bringing back Walter Clayton Jr. and Will Richard and Condon, and brings in Elijah Martin from FAU. But give me the tragic magic scenario. South Florida gets up for their boys.
Yeah, I mean, rivalry.
Todd Golden has such a punchable face too.
Rivalry, little get up spot in state, and then Colby nailed it with the tragic magic. That's all I need to hear. So yeah, give me South Florida and the points.
He looks like the guy that gets taken. Like, remember the ECU fight video? There's the guy that gets knocked out 3 separate times. That's what Todd Golden looks like.
Not enough people are sharing that on Twitter. I thought that would continue to go around and forever, and like Tub Girl, but no, it hasn't.
Tub girl still making the rounds. Todd Golden looks like your IT guy. Like,
yeah,
I'm here to work on the server.
Yeah.
Very
fucking loser.
odd shaped head.
Colby, don't try to get people off the scent. You're more of a lemon party guy. We know that.
Oh yeah.
South. Yeah.
Colby always saying, look up my lemon party.
South Florida for me as well, Sean. I think this feels like a dog situation.
Oh, moneyline dog win one for
so.
the former coach or the coach that passed away. That's obviously a bummer. Kramer, 3 games left.
Yes. Tarleton and another one that we have more questions than answers here, Colby. Tarleton State and SMU made the card in Dallas, Texas, 5:30 p.m. during Monday Night Football on the West Coast. Minus 18.5 for SMU. How much of that NIL money going to the basketball program?
Well, that's why you want to talk about it. Well, when they brought in, Rob Lanier didn't do a terrible job with him last season, and they canned him and landed Andy Infield, which that's a huge get. USC, that's like the best basketball coach USC's had in a minute. So being able to land him was pretty huge. They got 3 starters back. They also that blood money. Brought in a top 100 recruit in Mitchell Holmes. They were active in the portal, bringing in Matt Cross and Kevin Miller from Matt Cross from UMass. And
Colby, if you had to guess, how much you think SMU is paying for this roster?
See, it's hard because I think you bring in that much money. I would wonder like how much. Football is the first thing I would think they pay for. But I would still imagine though that they're probably among the tops in the ACC after like Duke and Carolina. At probably trying to pay their players. So I don't know really what figure to really start with, but I would just think they're one of the most, this roster is probably one of the more paid rosters in the ACC besides the heavyweights.
I mean, you don't have to spend much. It's you got 12 kids, 14, maybe,
Yeah. I mean, even if you're just giving out like $50K, you can probably swing a decent amount of guys to your roster. Even if you're spending just like a couple $100,000, which compared to football, probably not that crazy.
Yeah. I think Andy Infield, deals with bigger bags than that.
Oh yeah. I mean, Colby, do we just smash SMU here to start?
And then you got shot? Well, Tarleton's got Billy Gillespie, who's a proven winner.
Yeah.
They're like, I know he was dinged up last season, but 25-10 is what the Texans went last year. They did lose all 5 starters, but they brought in Freddie Hicks, who was a former All Sun Belt Player of the Year there. They also have this guy Kevin Paul Jr. that I think a lot are raving about there. So I mean, the cult. This is one of those ones where early season, you got the culture that Gillespie's established now in 4 or 5 seasons there at Tarleton against the new guy with a brand new roster. I'll take the points in Tarleton to stay within this game just because of the culture. Let's go.
Yeah, no, I mean, you're giving a good coach, like, or at least a solid coach in Billy Gillespie. You're giving him 18.5 points against the SMU super team that might take a little bit to gel. I think that number is too high. I'm with you. I'll take Tarleton State.
Year 1 with Florida Gulf Coast, 15-17 overall, tied for 6th in the conference. Year 1 with USC, 11-21 overall, 2-16 in the conference. Yeah. I mean, he's going to get it going eventually.
Yeah. It's just, will it be game 1? Will it be enough to keep them in this, or will they get,
it seems like, I mean, year 2 at Florida Gulf Coast, but it seems like it's going to be like a classic year 2, year 3 thing. And yeah, I know I guess nowadays can guys last that long, but yeah, I'll fade that for sure. And also just in general,
I just think that's such a big number.
Yeah.
They might be up 30 and they might call off the dogs.
What does Ken Palm have that one at, Sean?
I'll look that up. So wait, you're on SMU. Oh, you're on Tarleton. Okay.
Yeah. I'm fading. I was reading off Andy Infield's record in his first year at his previous 2 stops. Although the Florida Gulf Coast shit was fun. I will always remember. I'll never.
Or they're a chiropractor school, right?
Oh my god. I mean, there's just a number of those types of schools. And you're going to see more of that with the NIL stuff. Like you're going to see more billionaires decide they want to start having college sports. Why not?
Why not? Ken Palm has this as 14. So
okay.
4.5 points on a Ken Palm spread is usually a decent play. So
unless there's something going on there, which I don't think there is.
Yeah. I'll take Tarleton State. Let's go.
Ohio State, Texas.
Well, and real quick, someone's saying they're seeing 12.5 for the SMU Tarleton State spread.
Uh-oh. Colby.
Where are they seeing that at?
Oh,
We got it. Breaking news. We got it.
all right. Adjust the
official
number.
investigation.
Adjust the number.
What is it?
Where are they seeing that at?
I don't know. I'm just responding to the chat.
I'm looking to verify right now, Sean.
Okay.
This won't stand. We can't be
This
reckless.
aggression will not stand.
I mean, there are very serious things going on in this country.
I'm not seeing it on FD.
Oh, the blue book.
I said I'm not. Yeah, I don't know.
Was this a projected number, Colby?
I think this was a projected number.
Oh, this is a Pick Dundee number. That's the problem.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm confirming 12.5. Confirming 12.5.
Where though? Where are you seeing that?
12. All right, challenge me in my fucking numbers. Bet online and bookmaker currently.
Okay, so that's a 6-point swing.
Yep.
Are we?
I'm still taking the points.
Okay, Kramer, what are you doing?
That's a big difference.
It's a loaded question.
Big
I know.
difference. I said a lot of things. I feel like I just need to stay with Tarleton State now, just based on talking about how infield has started slow.
Yeah, I'll stick with Tarleton State. Although obviously I liked it a little better at 18.5. But yeah, give me Tarleton State 12.5. Let's go.
I'll pay you to see me.
We keep ourselves honest on this.
Ohio State, Texas. This one's being played out in beautiful Las Vegas. I guess is this like a new Big Ten SEC challenge, Colby? 7 p.m. Texas laying 2.5. What are we doing?
But I do believe like they have some type of some scheduling alliance or something that they're doing in the coming years.
We like alliances.
Yeah. Look, I mean, this is an interesting one. Jake Diebler's cookies there, getting his first full season as the head coach of Ohio State. Remember, they fired Chris Holt in mid-season last year, or towards the end of the season. He brought back Michi Johnson from South Carolina. Also got a few other guys. Returns two starters from a season ago. I kind of like the depth that he's added to Ohio State's team. And then you have Texas, which is they lost all their starters, but they go out and buy a new team. Caden Shedrick, the old UVA player, was a key player on the bench. He's back. They get Tremont Mark, Jordan Pope, who was a baller at Oregon State, and then Art Kaluma. Yeah. So I mean, they should be loaded. Rodney Terry still needs to prove it to me, but this is an interesting one from a coaching standpoint because both these coaches, I feel like, have to prove to you that they're legit head coaches. I'm just going to side with the talent in this one in Vegas. Give me the Longhorns minus the points to beat the Buckeyes.
Horns up, huh?
A similar profile, just one team brought in better talent. And this is also the kind of game that Texas wins.
If there's not a real coaching edge, I think you got to go with Texas here. So I'm with you. Texas laying 2.5. Fade Diebler and his elves. Feel free to use that on the college experience, Colby.
That was good. It would go well with a cock. That's
well, the listeners asked for more cocks.
That's what they do over there.
What do you got? So you're riding with Texas as well?
Yeah.
Horns up.
Horns up for now.
And I see Matthew McConaughey doing some sports gambling content.
Really?
Matthew, Minister of Culture, always welcome on the Sports Gambling Podcast.
Are you talking about 2 for the money or new content?
No, new content.
Oh wow, because he of course
we gotta ask him about our buddy, the guy he played in 2 for the Money.
He pioneered lifting weights while handicapping, well before Taylor Mathis walked around while betting.
Yes.
Matthew McConaughey was showing off his pecs and shredding the NFL against the spread. Gonzaga, Baylor. This one's being played up in Seattle, I assume, at some sort of neutral house. Will be a Gonzaga home game. Rest assured. 8:30 p.m. on the West Coast. Late night basketball. It's really all day. Colby wasn't lying. Gonzaga laying 2.5. What has Mark Hadafeu been up to this offseason? Spending some time by the lake?
Forgot that.
I think so. I ran into him in Vegas. And
really? What was he drinking?
Wait a second.
Well, that's a place for him to go. It's easy to get an Uber. You don't have to worry about driving.
can see him being fast friends with Derek.
Oh yeah.
He's excited about this year's team. They bring back 4 starters. Khalif Battle they brought in from the portal.
Don't let him give Mud a ride, Colby. You can't trust that guy behind the wheel. Just take him a dogs for a ride. Get in a
shout out to Muddy Waters.
Dogs. Yeah, shout out to Mud.
It's his birthday today, man. 9 years old today. The great Muddy Waters.
Wow. Fuck.
How do you do on the road trip, Colby?
Oh, he's a rock star on the road. Now I have a cat that he basically acted like it was friggin', the worst experience ever. The entire trip, you just blast music loud enough you can't hear meows. It's fantastic.
Acted like a real pussy.
Guys, I mean, this is a great game, and they purposely waited till after Monday Night Football. You should credit the TV people. And this was a late game that they added to the schedule, and it's fantastic. So you got Mark Few with those 4 starters back. Khalif Battle comes in from Houston/Temple or whatever. They have one of a huge recruit coming in that could make a difference. And then Baylor. How about Scott Drew turning down Kentucky coming back? As I don't know, our Big 12 preview on the college basketball experience. I have Baylor winning the conference with a lot of what they bring back mixed in with what they went out and got. Jeremy Roach, Norchad O'Meara, Celestine coming in from Cal, and the fact
Celestine, they got him.
Yeah, I mean they got. This is an awesome game. I lean Baylor though. I think I'm just kind of bullish on Baylor's team this year. I think the Bears go up to Seattle, and I do think it matters a little bit that this is not at the Kennel in Spokane. So give me Baylor to go on the road there and get the dub.
I don't know.
This is another game that I had circled, Sean. Massive returning production discrepancy.
Yeah, I mean, to Colby's point, I like the case you're making for Baylor as a surprise team this season, but Gonzaga in the Pacific Northwest opening night. Even though it's in Seattle, it'll still probably be lit with Gonzaga fans. I don't know how many Baylor fans are going to be traveling. It's still football season. I think you got to take Gonzaga here. Mark had a few. Will be lit as well.
It's a home game.
Yeah, give me Gonzaga.
As much as Colby hates it, it's a home game.
Time for our lock, dog, and tease brought to you by Rhythm, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM. Rhythm has you covered for college basketball season. Their models are about to projections about to drop. They will be ready for Monday. If you're listening to this on Monday, head over to Rhythm, start building your own college basketball betting models. I cannot wait.
What are you going to call yours?
Buddy, in honor of Buddy Boeheim. So it'll be heavy to 3-point shooting. And that's what's so awesome about Rhythm. You don't have to be a mathematician. You just move the sliders. Hey, you care about defense, tempo. I forget all the different ones they have. Excited to tinker with the college basketball. Cannot wait for them to launch it. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM. Get your 7-day free trial today. Kramer, lock, dog, bonus lock.
All right. So I said earlier that Texas A&M was a lock.
Okay.
Dog. I not surprisingly, I have a lot of favorites on the card.
Yeah.
But I do like the tragic magic angle against.
Oh, you think South Florida's live
against our server tech in Florida? Give me South Florida.
Okay.
And let me look up permission to go off the card. Are we doing that? Am I allowed to do that?
Yes. It's America,
for a bonus
right?
lot.
It is.
We're going to take the 19.5 points with Radford.
Oh, the horse catching 19. Who are they?
Pittsburgh.
It's a big number. Big number. All right. For me,
Colby just gave me an impressed look. That's for the people who think I'm a snorkeler.
Get your scuba gear ready, Kramer.
Right. And I'll tell you what, the reason I'm picking it, Sean. Pittsburgh again, returning production. Radford returning some of the most production in the country. So let's go.
Give me a St. John's Lane 16.5. This is a Patino. It's an appetizer for the rest of the season. It's like the bread right before dinner. A nice Italian restaurant, which I'm sure Patino likes.
We should be doing two locks, a dog, and a bonus lock.
I agree. I agree.
2 locks, a dog, and a bonus lock.
Yeah,
sure.
Okay.
What's your other lock, Kramer?
We continue. I'll think for a quick minute.
Another lock I like. Give me South Florida plus 10.5. I'm not quite sure they get there as a live dog, but I like the 10.5. For my dog, give me Missouri on the money line. Get the win in Memphis, and then for my bonus lock.
While you're thinking, I'm just going to put this on the screen. Noah backing up my Radford pick.
Oh, nice. I'll go Texas. Texas 2 step out in Vegas. They're just a much better team. So Texas minus 2.5 is my bonus lock. South Florida and St. John's are the regular locks, and Missouri on the money line for my dog. Colby.
I wasn't sure if Kramer was going to have his fine.
No,
his extra
continue.
lock.
No, keep going. We'll get to it.
Well, you know me, guys. Fade the staples. Even if they're super sharp, lock up UAB. Lock up McNeese. And as a bonus lock, let's take it to Charleston. Charleston gets it done.
Okay.
Minus the points. The dog, man, I do think it's for the best value. It's Missouri, but let's parlay Missouri and Baylor.
Wow.
And have some fun there.
Going over the top with an early CBB parlay. All right. I like the style. Kramer.
All right. So I think I'll tag team McNeese with Colby. I think big time fits the model of a team with not much production coming back, team with production and staple angle.
Does hurt your road angle, right?
This is a neutral site game.
Yeah, but it's in South Dakota.
This is a neutral site game.
All right. What do you think the people that show up for a Sioux Falls basketball game?
Brookings to Sioux Falls can get a little tricky.
That probably is like a decent drive. It's probably like 6 hours, but that's like a normal commute in South Dakota. Hey, make sure you check out the college basketball experience, kicking off Sunday night with the Daily Picks show. Colby with Moneyline Mac, producer Noah behind the glass there. And going to be mostly picking games, couple leans, but going through the entire card, giving you thoughts, feelings, opinions, strong opinions. They got it all over the college basketball experience. Toss some 5 stars on few tilts.
Sean, Brookings to Sioux Falls, it's 57 miles. In South Dakota, that could take you 45 minutes.
Yeah. Well, what else? If you're in South Dakota, what else are you up to?
We got to stop by Sam's grocery store.
Let's probably hanging out in a dimly lit bar, putting back some Jaeger.
Let's think of it this way. Why would Will Wade bring his program up to Sioux Falls, South Dakota?
They're paying him
to beat the shit out of some teams.
Nah, come on. He wouldn't do that. He's a class act.
Let's go.
Hey, tune in tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Pacific, noon East for the best damn NFL pregame show around.
Thank you for participating in the Sports Gambling Podcast.
I might have to change the title to that, Sean.
For the Sports Gambling Podcast, I'm Sean, stacking the money green. He's Ryan.
College basketball is back, Sean.
Kramer, let it ride.